from Wood TV, this is 24-Hour News 8 at noon. Live from the Media Arts Center in downtown Grand Rapids.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Susan Shaw.
And I'm Emily Leonard. Thanks for joining us. Here's what's ahead today. It's a soggy but mild start to the week. Storm Team 8 is tracking a cold snap and some chances of snow in the coming days.
Plus, the House Judiciary Committee back to work today with more public hearings in the impeachment probe. We'll have a full wrap-up of what's happened so far this morning.
And we're going to start with your forecast right now. Storm Track Live shows that most of Michigan is seeing rain or snow right now. Let's get over to meteorologist Terry DeBoer with what's ahead.
Well, that's right. Disappointing news here. The ice rink at Rosa Park Circle is closed down just because of the warm and wet conditions. We've got some areas where fog is starting to develop as well. Just a lot of low-level moisture. A really gray day outside. Taking you to downtown Grand Rapids, where we had a number of traffic issues this morning because of the wet pavement. Right now, US 131 and the Ford Freeway traffic moving along very smoothly, but I'll tell you, the fog is really locked in out over Lake Michigan and right along the lakeshore. Also, we're looking at some visibility issues from Muskegon and Grand Haven off to the north along the lakeshore in Ludington and points northward. Temperatures outside, almost hard to believe that here we are in December, and we're looking at temperatures outside currently in the mid to upper 40s in most places. Kalamazoo to the south, 50-degree readings. And as you can see here on Storm Track Live radar, we do have that widespread rain across the area right now. Heaviest of that and most concentrated rain will continue to press off to the east, but as you can see upstream, we've got some snow breaking out already, along with an Arctic cold front, which is going to be moving to the east and southeast, and that will mix in some colder temperatures with the potential for a wintry mix arriving as early as this evening. You'll notice most of the moisture is out of the system before the cold air wraps in, so if you were looking for widespread accumulating snow, that's not in the cards with this particular setup in the atmosphere. In fact, the snow that will be generated will be lake effect in areas to the west, primarily and southwest of Grand Rapids. Notice the bitterly cold air off to our northwest. That's the air mass we're tapping, and you can see wind chills are currently 10 to almost 25 below zero. And as you can see, that Arctic air spilling in, that will be with us, at least the core of it, for Wednesday, and then moving out of the way quickly. So this isn't going to be an Arctic air mass that sets up shop for the rest of this week. In fact, the core of the coldest air overhead on Wednesday, and then conditions start to moderate again by Thursday and Friday. Could see another round of snow or a wintry mix developing over the weekend with the next developing system. That's something we're going to be watching for you. But at least in the short term, keep in mind we're all going to be shivering, but only a few of us are going to be shoveling. Back to you, Emily and Sue.
Terry, thank you. To the impeachment inquiry now, where the House Judiciary Committee is holding a public hearing.
It's the next phase of a fast-moving process that could lead to a vote on the impeachment of President Trump before Christmas. NBC's Susan McGinnis wraps up what's happened so far.
Of an election with unelected people giving
Gentlemen will suspend.
Republicans and Democrats clashing at today's public impeachment hearing as the House Judiciary Committee formally receives evidence against President Trump.
The President of the United States has put himself before his country. He has violated his most basic responsibilities to the people. He has broken his oath.
They can't get over the fact Donald Trump is president.
Attorneys for both sides presenting what amounts to their closing arguments following months of investigations into the president's actions.
And the scheme by President Trump was so brazen, so clear.
Republicans continue to call the process illegitimate, the impeachment baseless.
To impeach a president who 63 million people voted for over 8 lines in a call transcript is baloney.
How many articles of impeachment Democrats would present still unknown, but likely charges include abuse of power, bribery, obstruction of Congress.
The president has demonstrated no contrition or acknowledgement that his demand for a foreign country to interfere in our election is wrong.
Today's hearings leading into days of debates expected to end in a committee vote that will force lawmakers to decide whether to impeach a president for only the 3rd time in American history.
A vote on impeachment by the full House could come by the end of next week. In Washington, Susan McGinnis, NBC News.
Impeachment hearings continue now on Wood TV 8 and over at woodtv.com.
We'll also bring you updates from a full day of hearings on your News 8 at 5 and 6 tonight.
In New Zealand, tourists capture the moment a volcano erupts off the country's North Island today, killing several people and then leaving an unknown number unaccounted for.
At least 5 people were killed, up to 20 injured, and several were reported missing after the eruption. About 50 people were feared to have been nearby, and several were seen near the rim of the crater just minutes before the eruption. Many day tours visit this island regularly, and one from a cruise liner was there at the time.
Coming up in our next half hour, we will get you an update on the search efforts and what's coming up next.
Russia will not be participating in international sports events for 4 years. That's because the World Anti-Doping Agency slapped the country with a 4-year ban, including next summer's Tokyo Olympics.
This comes after a long-standing doping scandal. Russia's athletes will still be able to compete if they can show that they are clean competitors. But the 4-year ban means that Russia's flag, name, and anthem will not appear at the Tokyo Games. And the country could also be stripped of hosting world championships in Olympic sports. Russia can appeal that decision within 21 days.
Back at home now this afternoon, you can share your thoughts on plans to transform downtown Grand Rapids. City leaders are looking at turning 2 one-way streets into 2-way streets. As early as 2021, Ionia Avenue and Ottawa Avenue could both become 2-way streets. But it really depends on public interest, especially from certain groups like bikers. It's all tied into the GR Forward and Bicycle Action Plan. One of the streets, Ionia Avenue, would be equipped with a new separated bike lane if approved. In addition, the city says the traditional one-way routes will be beautified with green space, trees, flowers, even benches in some places. There will be 3 public meetings within the next 2 days to discuss all this information. You can see those meeting times and locations on the screen right now. Well, that concludes this digital broadcast.
If the impeachment hearings wrap up before 1 p.m., we will join you on the air on Wood TV 8 with your top stories. Have a great day.